On this land, there are no eternal victors. Empires rise, then fall in the blink of an eye. Every step writes another death sentence. Here, there is no mercy, only the need to survive. And in that savage battleground, adaptation is the only recognized law. Welcome to the final battle. Wild nature, the brutal survival, battleground between hunter and prey. The Serengeti grasslands under the afternoon sun. A large male lion lies on a high mound, surveying his vast territory. Dark, thick mane, many scars on his face. This is Scar, king of this land. The name Scar doesn't come from appearance. It comes from the battles he's been through. 3 years as pride leader, countless confrontations, but not all ended in victory. In popular culture, male lions are symbols of absolute strength, fearless and conquering everything. But the real story is far more complex. This is the story of times Scar had to retreat, not out of cowardice, but wisdom, about knowing when to fight and when to live to fight another day. This morning, Scar is hungry. 2 days without food, his belly sunken. Ahead, a buffalo herd drinks at the river, over 200, but a few old ones have separated from the herd. African buffalo, weighing up to 900 kilograms, 4 times Scar's weight, horns a meter long, sharp as spears, but prolonged hunger forces Scar to take risks. Scar selects his target, an old one, sluggish, drinking water about 50 meters from the herd. He crawls low to the ground, advancing meter by meter. 10 meters, Scar explodes at maximum speed. The buffalo detects him but doesn't flee. Instead, it lowers its horns and charges straight at Scar. Scar must leap sideways to avoid the charge. Simultaneously, the buffalo's call alerts the entire herd. Over 100 buffalo turn, looking toward Scar. And then something terrible happens. They don't flee. They charge towards Scar. 20, 30, 40 buffalo are now chasing a single male lion. Scar runs at maximum speed, 50 kilometers per hour, but buffalo can also run 45. One charge from behind could end his life instantly. "500 meters later, the herd stops pursuing. Scar escaped, but completely exhausted. No food, energy depleted, and facing reality, alone. He cannot hunt buffalo. This isn't Scar's first retreat. Last week, he found an antelope carcass he'd killed, surrounded by 12 hyenas. Scar approaches, roaring threats. But the hyenas aren't afraid. They encircle him, cackling and moving closer. A hyena's bite force reaches 1100 psi, stronger than Scar's. One hyena bites Scar's hind leg. He turns to attack, but three others attack from behind. Scar realizes if he stays, he'll be torn apart. After a while, he abandons the kill and leaves. Not far away, an elephant herd is moving toward the waterhole where Scar usually drinks. Scar is thirsty, but upon seeing elephants, he immediately changes direction. Adult elephants weigh 6 tons, 30 times Scar's weight. Just one stomp or trunk swing could kill him instantly. So there's no battle here. Scar proactively avoids these giants. On another afternoon, Scar encounters a white rhino grazing near the riverbank. The rhino doesn't threaten lions, but Scar still circles 30 meters away. Rhinos can weigh 3.5 tons with horns up to 1.5 meters long. Aggressive temperament and unpredictable, even if Scar doesn't attack. The rhino might still charge just from feeling intruded upon. But the greatest challenge doesn't come from other species. It comes from lions themselves. One morning, Scar hears distant roaring. This isn't the roar of his pride. Two nomadic male lions are entering Scar's territory. They're younger, about 5 years old, in their prime, and more importantly, they're brothers. Scar is 8 years old, still strong, but no longer at his peak. One-on-one, he might win, but 1 against 2, the survival rate is too low. Scar stands on the mound, roaring as loudly as possible. The roar echoes across the savannah, declaring ownership. But the two males don't back down. They roar back, moving closer. The distance is closing. Scar must make a decision: fight and possibly die, or retreat to live and defend territory another time. Scar chooses retreat, not because he's weak, but because he's smart. He leaves the mound, moving toward the territory's edge. The two males claim the central area. But Scar doesn't give up completely. He lives on the periphery, hunting small prey, maintaining his health, waiting for an opportunity. 2 weeks later, one of the two brothers is gored severely by a buffalo. Now it's one-on-one. Scar returns, challenging the remaining male. This time he wins and reclaims his territory. But this victory doesn't come from pure strength. It comes from knowing when to step back, when to wait, and when to attack. This is the wisdom of the survivor, not the reckless. Currently, male lions average only 2 to 4 years as pride leaders, not because they're weak, but because there's always someone younger, stronger, waiting. Power doesn't come from winning every battle. It comes from choosing the right battles to fight, avoiding unwinnable ones, and living long enough to protect your genes. Scar teaches us that greatness doesn't lie in never retreating. It lies in knowing when to step back to advance later. This is the wisdom of a true king. In the natural world, a king isn't the one who wins every battle. A king is the one who survives every trial, keeps his territory, and leaves descendants. Scar is living proof of that. The African savanna stretches endlessly. Early morning sun casts gold on dry grass. The horizon undulates with herds of living animals. This land is not just home to mighty hunters, but also contains nature's extraordinary architectural works. Under harsh sunlight and freezing nights, nature's architects have built sturdy homes. From high above to deep underground, each creature has created a dwelling suited to its life. High in tree branches are sociable weaver birds, Phalateris socius, architects of the world's largest bird nests. A single nest can house 500 individuals, weighing over 1 ton, spanning up to 7 meters on acacia trees. Truly impressive numbers. Each bird is an artisan. Day after day, they weave strands of dry grass into separate small chambers. This structure is not built in a day. Generation after generation, perfecting every detail. The nest structure is intelligently designed. Central chambers retain heat at night. Outer chambers stay cool during the day. At night, savanna temperatures drop to 10 degrees Celsius, but inside the nest remains warm as daytime. When the sun rises high, temperatures increase to 40 degrees. Outer chambers become cool refuges. This bird nest is not just a private home. It becomes a community where other species also find shelter. African pygmy owls often occupy abandoned chambers as breeding sites. Lizards find hiding places between crevices. A weaver nest can survive over 100 years, through rain and sun, storms and winds, still standing firm. This is proof of the power of cooperation. No single individual could accomplish this alone. This straw city is a symbol of resilience and collective intelligence in wild nature. Towering in the middle of the savanna are earthen towers rising beyond human height. These are termite constructions. Macro terms, tower-building termites create mounds that can reach up to 8 meters high and solid as concrete. Each tower is built from soil, saliva, and feces. Millions of termites work ceaselessly to create massive structures lasting decades. Inside is an underground city consisting of fungus-growing chambers, queen's chamber, food storage, and an intricate network of connecting tunnels. But most remarkable is the ventilation system, a design so intelligent that humans have had to study and apply it to their own structures. Hot air from deep levels is channeled up and exits through the central shaft, while cool air from outside is drawn in through ventilation slits near ground level. This maintains internal temperature at a stable level around 30 degrees Celsius, even when external temperature reaches 45 degrees. Termite mounds are not just dwellings, but farms, hospitals, and fortresses protecting the queen and millions of colony members. When abandoned, they continue to play important ecological roles, becoming shelter for many other species like cobras, owls, and large lizards. These earthen towers can exist for decades, helping shape the landscape and becoming characteristic landmarks of the savanna. These tiny architects have created one of the most enduring legacies of African wild nature. Beneath the arid soil layer is a hidden world where naked mole rats, Heterocephalus glaber, build an underground empire. This strange rodent species lives in complete darkness, with bare hairless skin and developed incisors like specialized digging tools. Their tunnel system can extend for kilometers, with complex structure no different from a true underground city. Each area has clearly assigned functions. Communal sleeping quarters are at the deepest level, where temperature is stable and security is highest. The Queen's Chamber is the reproductive center of the entire colony, where only one female undertakes the breeding role and maintains the population of up to hundreds of individuals. Food storage contains tubers and roots collected from the surface, allowing the colony to stockpile food for months. Their digging technique is particularly efficient. One individual uses incisors to excavate soil, while other individuals coordinate in assembly line fashion, successively pushing soil backward. On the surface, small earth mounds gradually appear, surface signs of a vast and complex construction system hidden deep below. Naked mole rats can live up to 30 years, a record lifespan among rodents. The secret lies in the underground home they create. Additionally, not all weaver birds live communally. Masked weaver birds, Ploceus vellatus, are solitary artisans. Males build nests to attract females. Each breeding season, they can weave up to 3 different nests. Nests are pear-shaped or boot-shaped, hanging suspended from thin branches. The entrance is a narrow tunnel at the bottom. This design is not random. Snakes and monkeys can hardly squeeze through such a narrow, downward-facing entrance. Location is also carefully chosen. Thin branches hanging over water or thorn bushes are ideal choices. These nests can withstand rain and wind throughout breeding season, proof of the craftsmanship of these tiny artisans. Warthogs, Phacochorus africanus, don't build burrows from scratch, but they are talented renovation architects. They find abandoned burrows of aardvarks or anteaters, then renovate them to suit their needs. Particularly, warthogs always back into burrows, not turning their heads in. Heads face outward, ready to defend. Their sharp tusks are formidable weapons. Even lions hesitate to attack warthogs in narrow burrows. During the day, they forage. At night, they return to safe burrows. This is simple but effective living rhythm. Spotted hyenas, Crocuta, also live in burrows, but their burrows are more complex with multiple entrances and exits. A hyena burrow can have up to 5 entrances. When in danger, they escape through another exit, evading enemies. These burrows are not just shelters. This is where females give birth and raise the next generation in safety. The African savanna is not just wilderness, but also a museum of nature's architecture. These architects have no blueprints or modern tools, relying only on instinct and millions of years of evolution. Each home is a complete solution to harsh environmental challenges: scorching heat, freezing cold, enemies, and time. But by 2026, these architects are facing a new challenge. Climate change is altering their very living environment. The future of these magnificent works depends on the fragile balance between nature and human impact. The savanna still exists, silently waiting. Dawn over the Okavango grasslands. A pack of wild dogs is waking. The distinctive 3-colored spotted coat makes them easily recognizable among yellow grass. They begin the morning ritual by greeting each other, touching muzzles, licking faces, and emitting special sounds. This isn't purely affectionate behavior. This is how they strengthen social bonds and confirm each individual's role in the pack. Without this bond, they cannot survive. African wild dogs, like Lycaon pictus, are among the most efficient hunters in the natural world. But that strength doesn't come from single individuals. Looking at their bodies, the answer becomes clear. Wild dogs have slender builds, long, thin legs, weighing only about 30 kilograms. Their muscles aren't designed for explosive power like lions or leopards. They cannot ambush or bring down prey with just one single pounce. Their jaws also aren't strong enough to quickly kill large prey. Bite force is only half compared to lions of similar size. A single wild dog individual facing an antelope has almost no chance of winning. It will exhaust or get injured before bringing down prey. But evolution has equipped them with another weapon: endurance. Wild dogs can run continuously 5 to 10 kilometers without stopping. Their maximum speed isn't as high as cheetahs, but they can maintain speed of 50 kilometers per hour for many minutes. This is the key point. This strategy only works with the entire pack. Individuals can take turns leading, continuously pressuring prey without rest. GPS research shows they force prey into overheating and exhaustion. Prey don't die from wounds, but die from depletion. Data from Serengeti shows a clear truth. A single individual has hunting success rate nearly zero, below 5%. Two to three individuals increase rate to 30%. But with 6 to 10 individuals, success rate jumps to 80%. This is the highest rate among all African carnivores. Higher than lions, higher than leopards, higher than hyenas, but only when hunting in packs. Besides efficiency, pack hunting also reduces risk. A kick from antelope or zebra can break bones or cause death. If hunting alone, even small injuries mean death. Without teammates supporting, cannot hunt, will starve in a few days. But in the pack, other individuals will bring food back for injured members. This isn't kindness. This is collective survival mechanism. The second challenge is prey theft. Wild dogs often have spoils stolen by lions and hyenas after hunting. If hunting alone, a wild dog individual has no ability to protect food from any thieves, making entire hunting effort meaningless. But the entire pack can defend better. They surround prey, eat extremely fast, usually within 15 minutes before thieves arrive. Wild dog social structure also forces them to hunt in packs. Only the leading pair, usually the alpha pair, are allowed to reproduce. Other individuals exist to support the pack, protect cubs, and hunt for the entire group. Each individual's value lies in contributing to the collective. Food is always shared. Individuals who hunt must bring back for cubs, elderly individuals, and injured members. This explains why wild dogs never develop solo hunting behavior. Over thousands of generations of evolution, selection pressure is very clear. Individuals trying to hunt alone will die early and leave no genes. Individuals hunting in packs survive and pass this behavior to next generations. The result is pack hunting behavior ingrained in instinct. Wild dogs have no behavioral script for solo hunting. They cannot imagine it. From 2026 onward, wild dogs are the most endangered species among Africa's large carnivores. Only about 6,600 individuals remain. Habitat loss and diseases from domestic dogs are the two greatest threats. When packs are separated, they cannot hunt efficiently. Conservation organizations are working to create movement corridors between reserves. Wild dogs need large space to maintain large packs and hunt effectively. Wild dogs are living proof of the power of unity. They're not the strongest, not the fastest, not the largest, but they're most efficient when together. In the natural world, sometimes strength doesn't come from individuals, but from groups. Wild dogs chose that path and survived because of this choice. The Amazon River stretches 6,400 kilometers, flowing through the heart of South America's tropical rainforest, forming the planet's largest and most complex river system. On the water's surface, tropical sunlight reflects brilliantly, but below is a completely different world, where over 3,000 fish species coexist and evolve. Water temperature stable around 28 degrees Celsius creates ideal conditions for life, from tiny organisms to giant species dominating the river. These fish species have undergone millions of years of evolution, developing extraordinary survival abilities, making the Amazon the most diverse freshwater ecosystem. Pirarucu, Arapaima gigas, is one of the world's largest freshwater fish. They can grow up to 3 meters long and weigh over 200 kilograms. Called living fossils, Pirarucu have existed since the Jurassic period. The most prominent feature is steel-hard scales covering the entire body. These scales are so hard that piranha teeth cannot penetrate them, with structure that disperses impact force, functioning like natural armor. Pirarucu need air to breathe, so every 15 minutes they surface, and that vulnerable moment reveals hunting instinct. With massive muscle mass, Pirarucu catch prey by suction mechanism, creating negative pressure when opening mouth quickly to suck small fish in. This mechanism only works at close range. Contrary to that massive size, candiru are only a few centimeters long, but are terrifying parasites with backward-facing spines making escape impossible. Candiru are parasitic fish. They're attracted by chemicals in water and can penetrate small openings in other creatures' bodies. Their defense mechanism is sharp spines pointing backward. Once penetrated, escape is nearly impossible. In deeper water layers, a black shadow silently moves. Bull sharks, rare fish capable of long-term survival in freshwater environments. Bull sharks can swim upstream thousands of kilometers from the Atlantic. Their kidneys specially adapt, adjusting salt concentration to survive in freshwater environments. Simultaneously possessing high aggression toward humans, their appearance in unexpected places makes them a terrifying threat. On the water surface, a small ripple. That's the sign of giant catfish, Piraiba, the Amazon's largest catfish species. Piraiba can grow up to 3 meters long and weigh over 200 kilograms, with massive mouth allowing them to swallow prey nearly 1/3 their body size. Stories tell that Piraiba have swallowed large animals, even cases discovering human bones in their stomachs, turning their pulling power into legend. Scarier than piranhas is the payara fish, Hydrolycus scomberoides, the vampire fish with 2 fangs up to 15 centimeters long on the lower jaw. Unique biological design allows these 2 fangs to slide into upper jaw sockets when mouth closes, avoiding self-piercing the brain, an excellent evolutionary solution. Payara are professional hunters. Preferred targets are piranhas, using tactics, pierce and penetrate prey's internal organs with fangs. Swimming velocity can reach 40 kilometers per hour, combined with sharp jaws, making payara the terror of most fish in the river. But threats don't only come from underwater. On the river surface, giant assassins, pack predators dominating the Amazon. Giant otters up to 1.7 meters long, living and hunting in packs with high coordination levels, where each individual holds a distinct role in tight, collective tactics. Behind friendly appearance, giant otters are the Amazon surface's most dangerous carnivores, capable of bringing down adult caiman crocodiles or anaconda pythons. Their tactics are continuous attacks, overwhelming with numbers and speed, making even 2-meter caimans have no chance against perfectly coordinated otter packs. Sharp teeth and strong jaws help them tear through hard scales or thick skin. Ferocity and fearlessness earn them the title river wolves of the Amazon. However, all these creatures are facing major challenges. Amazon rainforest is being destroyed at unprecedented rates. Pollution from gold mining, toxic mercury, and habitat loss are threatening the entire ecosystem's survival. By 2026, conservation organizations are intensifying efforts, establishing new protected areas, and tightening laws to salvage the deteriorating Amazon ecosystem. The Amazon River is South America's lifeline, where every creature, whether strange or terrifying, holds an irreplaceable role in maintaining natural balance. They are both proof of nature's resilient vitality and a warning that humanity needs to act today to preserve these living wonders for tomorrow. The banks of the Mara River at midday. The water surface is still as a mirror reflecting the sky. No ripples, no movement. Everything is suspiciously quiet. But beneath the water surface, a pair of eyes is watching. They lie just below the waterline, only the head exposed. No one notices until it's too late. This is the Nile crocodile. In popular culture, they're portrayed as heartless man-eating monsters, ferocious and dangerous. But the truth is far more complex. This is the story of one of the planet's most efficient hunters. Not because of strength or speed, but because of their ability to conserve energy to perfection. Popular belief holds that crocodiles are brutal killers, always attacking anything that moves near water. Movies reinforce this image even more. But research over 15 years shows a completely different picture. Crocodile attacks are extremely rare, only when the chance of success is near 100%. In 1 month, an adult crocodile only attacks an average of 2 to 3 times. The rest of the time, they just lie still and observe. This isn't laziness. This is a survival strategy refined over 200 million years of evolution. Crocodiles are cold-blooded animals, with metabolism only 1/10 that of warm-blooded animals of the same size. This means crocodiles need far less energy to live. One large meal can provide enough energy for 2 to 4 weeks. Therefore, instead of chasing prey and wasting energy, crocodiles have developed the art of waiting. They can lie motionless in the same position for 2 to 3 hours continuously. During this time, heart rate drops to just 2 to 3 beats per minute. The body switches to maximum energy-saving mode, like a computer in deep sleep. But don't mistake this for lack of vigilance. The crocodile's eyes remain open, still observing every movement. The brain still analyzes, evaluates each animal coming to drink. Crocodiles don't attack the first antelope that appears. They wait for the right prey, the weak one, the slow one, the one that enters the perfect position where water is deep enough to drag under. This patience isn't blind instinct. This is precise calculation. One failed attack costs energy equivalent to 3 days of lying still. Cannot be wasted. When the perfect target finally appears, everything happens in less than 2 seconds. The crocodile explodes from underwater with astonishing speed and power. Jaws close with 5,000 psi of force, 10 times a lion's bite force. Once bitten, no prey can escape. The death roll technique begins. The crocodile spins its body with prey in its jaws, using 700 kilograms of weight to disorient and drag underwater. Absolutely efficient. No energy wasted. The entire process from attack to finish takes only 3 to 5 minutes. Compared to lions that may spend hours chasing prey, crocodiles save energy astonishingly. But this strategy only works because crocodiles know when not to attack. They pass up elephants, pass up adult hippos, pass up any target too risky. Research shows crocodiles reject 95% of potential attack opportunities. They only choose the 5% with highest success rate and lowest energy expenditure. This is why crocodiles can live to 70, even 100 years, the longest lifespan among large reptiles, thanks to not wasting energy. After eating a large meal, crocodiles can lie basking continuously for many days to digest. No movement, no more hunting, just lying still and processing food. The digestion process is also optimized. Crocodile stomach acid is 10 times stronger than humans, capable of dissolving even bones. Nothing is wasted. Everything is absorbed. Even basking behavior has purpose. Rising body temperature helps accelerate digestion. Crocodiles don't waste energy creating heat like warm-blooded animals. In the dry season, when water sources dry up, crocodiles can survive without eating anything for 3 to 4 months. They simply reduce all activity to minimum levels. During this time, metabolism drops to half normal. The body uses fat reserves extremely efficiently, extending survival time to the maximum. So are crocodiles truly dangerous to humans? Yes, but not because they're ferocious, rather because humans often appear exactly where crocodiles are waiting, the water's edge. In 2026, conflicts between crocodiles and humans are increasing due to population growth and habitat loss. Humans are encroaching on areas where crocodiles hunt. But crocodiles play an important role in the ecosystem. They control fish populations, maintain river health, and create water holes in dry season for other animals. Crocodiles teach us lessons about efficiency. In the natural world, success isn't measured by number of attacks, but by ability to survive long-term with minimal resources. They're not heartless man-eating monsters, as movies portray. They're energy-saving engineers. Every decision calculated to survive through millions of years. In the evolutionary race, it's not the strongest or fastest that wins, but those who know how to use energy most intelligently. Crocodiles are living proof of that. The savanna grasslands at dusk. On a branch 10 meters high, a leopard is resting. Its yellow coat with black spots blends into the dappled light through the canopy. This is the leopard, one of nature's most perfect hunters. Can climb like a monkey, run fast as a wild dog, and hide like a ghost. But this perfection comes with a price. Leopards live in the land of other predators, stronger, heavier, and far more ferocious. This is the story of true survival, not about the strongest, but about the smartest at avoiding conflict and exploiting every advantage. Leopards weigh from 30 to 90 kilograms. the lightest among Africa's big cats. But what others don't have is exceptional climbing ability. They can climb vertically up tree trunks using curved claws and extremely powerful hind leg muscles. Lions can't climb due to excessive weight. Hyenas can only climb a few meters, then must give up. Only leopards dominate three-dimensional space. And this is the most important survival strategy: dragging prey up trees. Leopards can drag prey twice their body weight up trees 5 to 6 meters high. An antelope weighing 40 kilograms is carried up a tree using only jaw strength and neck muscles. This is the greatest relative strength among big cats. But even in trees, leopards still aren't completely safe. There's an enemy that also lives in trees, and it's one of Africa's most dangerous hunters. African rock python can reach 6 meters long and weigh 80 kilograms. No venom, but constriction power strong enough to crush a leopard's ribs. Normally, these two species avoid each other. Leopards hunt in trees and on the ground during the day. Pythons hunt mainly at night and hide in burrows or bushes. But sometimes, conflict is unavoidable. A female leopard discovers a python near the den where she hides her cubs. Protective instinct overrides everything. The leopard approaches, growling threateningly. The python doesn't retreat, instead coils its body, ready to counterattack. Both know this confrontation is extremely dangerous. The leopard attacks first. A quick swipe aimed at the python's head, but the python reacts with astonishing speed, dodging and trying to wrap around the leopard's leg. The leopard jumps back in time, using claws to tear at the python's body. Python's skin is thick and scaled, but still gets torn. However, one wound isn't enough. The leopard attacks continuously, but doesn't dare let the python coil tightly. The python tries to maintain defensive posture, waiting for a chance to wrap around its opponent just once. Eventually, both are exhausted. The leopard is scratched. The python has multiple wounds. Neither side has a clear advantage, and both understand this. The leopard backs away slowly, still watching the python. The python doesn't pursue, only maintains defensive posture. Both retreat in different directions. No one wins. Both survive. This is why these two species usually avoid each other. The price of victory is too high. No spoils are worth that risk. But the greatest threat doesn't come from pythons. It comes from lions. When lions discover leopards on the ground, they will chase and kill without mercy. Lions don't eat leopards. They kill to eliminate competition. About 50% of leopard cubs die from lions in their first year of life. Therefore, leopards live on a different schedule from lions. Hunting during the day when lions are sleeping. At night, hiding in tall trees where lions cannot reach. Hyenas are another threat. They travel in packs of 5 to 20, can steal leopard kills even after the leopard has caught them. Leopards must eat extremely fast or drag prey up trees before hyenas arrive. On average, 30% of kills are stolen before finishing eating. But sometimes, leopards must face them directly. When surrounded by a pack of hyenas with no tree to escape to, they must fight knowing they cannot win. In this situation, leopards use speed and agility. Attack quickly at the face of the nearest hyena. Create an opening, then escape at maximum speed. Leopard claws are an important defensive weapon. A strike to a hyena's face can cause temporary blindness, enough time to escape. But the best strategy is still to avoid encounters. Leopards have excellent hearing and smell, can detect hyenas from 500 meters away. When they hear or smell hyenas, leopards immediately climb trees or move in another direction. Never confront if avoidable. Wild dogs are also a threat, especially when traveling in large packs. But wild dogs hunt during the day, while leopards can flexibly adjust their hunting times. So how do leopards survive among all these threats? The answer lies in adaptation of time and living space. Currently, leopards face increasing pressure. Habitat loss forces them to live closer to lions and hyenas. Conflicts increase. Leopard numbers have declined more than 30% over 3 generations. Not because they're weak, but because there's no longer enough space to avoid other carnivores. Leopards teach us that perfection doesn't mean invincibility. Even the most excellent predators must live by principles of avoidance and adaptation. Leopard success doesn't lie in winning every battle, but in choosing battles worth fighting and avoiding battles that cannot be won. In the land of apex predators, leopards survive not because they're strongest or most ferocious, but because they're smartest at using every advantage nature has bestowed. Dawn light filters through the African savanna. A new day begins on this vast land. This is the stage of the planet's richest wildlife. Wildebeest move in herds. Zebras graze beside the wildebeest. Birds soar overhead. This is an ecosystem where every creature has its own role. But beneath the tall grass, another presence is watching. Not a solitary predator, but the most organized force on this savanna. African lions, Panthera leo, the pinnacle of pack hunting tactics. Their strength lies not in individuals, but in the art of coordination evolved over millions of years. A lion pride typically consists of 5 to 15 individuals. Most are related females. They are the pride's main hunting force. Male lions with thick manes have a different role. They defend territory from intruders, rarely participate directly in hunting. But their presence keeps the pride stable. Within the pride, each individual has their own position. There is no absolute leadership, but there is division of labor based on experience and ability. A successful hunt begins with choosing the right target. Lions don't hunt randomly. They observe, assess, and calculate every detail. Wildebeest are preferred targets, weighing about 200 kilograms, large enough to feed the entire pride, but also fast enough to escape if danger is detected. Lions look for vulnerable individuals, young ones without experience, old ones that have slowed down, or those separated from the herd due to weakness. Terrain is also important. Tall grass provides better cover. Riverbanks limit escape routes. Narrow passages force prey to run in predetermined directions. Each hunt consumes enormous energy. If it fails, the pride faces hunger. Therefore, lions only act when there's a clear opportunity. Once the target is chosen, the pride begins assigning roles. No need for vocal communication, only instinct and hunting experience ingrained in their blood. Lions move forward. They crawl close to the ground, bodies flattened, almost blending into the grass. Each step slow, absolute patience. Several lions position themselves elsewhere. Their task is to create pressure, force the prey to run in the predetermined direction, where the interceptors are waiting. This is sophisticated ambush tactics, not individual strength, but perfect coordination among multiple individuals with a common goal. Wind direction is also calculated. Lions always move against the wind, so their scent doesn't drift toward the prey. One small mistake can ruin the entire plan. The distance gradually closes, 20 meters, 15 meters. The wildebeest still hasn't detected them. Lions move slowly, eyes still tracking every movement. A wildebeest raises its head, senses alert, but it's too late. The attack signal is given, not by sound, but by movement. Speed explodes. Lions can reach 80 kilometers per hour in the first few seconds. All strength concentrated in this lightning charge. The wildebeest herd scatters. They run in panic, but the predetermined prey has no escape route. The interceptors appear from ahead. The space is squeezed shut. The wildebeest tries to run away, but lions predict every step. Experience and instinct guide each movement. Impact. The lion brings down the prey with body weight. 400 kilograms of force pressing down. The wildebeest loses balance and tumbles. The decisive bite to the neck, not to cause major injury immediately, but to slowly suffocate, making the prey exhausted and stop resisting. Other lions come to assist. They hold the prey's legs and body, preventing any chance of escape. This is when collective strength reaches its peak. A few minutes later, everything ends. A successful hunt. But this is not inevitable. Only about 20 to 30% of hunts have such results. Failure has its own price. Energy spent is not replenished. Hunger prolonged. Lion cubs can die if consecutive hunts all fail. Danger also always lurks. Adult buffalo can gore and break lion bones, leaving fatal wounds. Each wound can render a lion unable to hunt. But today, the pride has food. Social order begins to manifest. The male lion approaches. Although not participating in the hunt, they have priority rights. This seems unfair, but this is how the pride maintains stability. Healthy male lions protect territory better, protect the entire pride from wandering males. Then comes the turn of lionesses. They eat quickly, efficiently, no waste. Every piece of meat is important to maintain strength for subsequent hunts. Lion cubs are fed by their mothers. They learn how to tear meat, how to compete for position. These lessons will determine their survival ability later. Small conflicts still occur, growling, chasing each other around the prey, but no major battles. The pride understands that unity is more important than individual competition. Within a few hours, the 200-kilogram wildebeest has been completely divided. Nothing is wasted. Bones will be cleaned up by scavengers. Everything has a role in the cycle. The lion's role goes far beyond foraging. They control herbivore populations, preventing them from destroying the savanna by overgrazing. By eliminating old, weak, and sick individuals, lions keep prey populations healthy. This is the process of natural selection happening every day. Without lions, the savanna would lose balance. Herbivores increase excessively. Grass is eaten bare. Soil erodes. The entire ecosystem collapses. This is why African lions are called a keystone species. Their presence sustains life for hundreds of other species. They are an indispensable pillar. But the greatest lesson from lions is not about physical strength, but about the power of cooperation. Their hunting tactics are proof of that. A solitary lion can survive, but it will be many times more difficult. Only together do they become the most fearsome predators on the savanna. No words, no written plans, only instinct refined over thousands of generations. Each hunt is a wordless symphony. Knowledge is passed from mother to offspring. Lion cubs observe every detail, from how to crawl low, how to read terrain, to how to coordinate with companions. These lessons are not taught with words, but through action, through direct participation, through success and also failure. Females will remain with the pride for life. They hunt with sisters and mothers. This bond creates unbreakable strength. Males will leave when mature. They wander, seeking their own territory. This dangerous journey determines their fate. But wherever they are, the nature of lions remains social animals. They need their own kind, need coordination, need the pride to survive best. The African savanna is vast, but the space for lions is shrinking. Humans expand cultivation. Conflicts are increasing. The number of African lions has dropped sharply over the past century, from over 200,000 to about 20,000 individuals. Their future depends on human decisions. Conservation areas are working to preserve habitat, educate local communities, reduce conflict between people and lions. Every effort matters. Because when lions disappear, it's not just losing one animal species, but losing the entire ecological chain they maintain, losing the balance of the savanna. African lions are symbols, not just of strength, but of tactical intelligence, of perfect coordination, of collective discipline. They remind us that success doesn't come from individual strength, but from the ability to work together, from understanding one's role in the collective. In the natural world, the strongest doesn't win, but the best adapted, the best coordinated. Lions have proven this through millions of years of evolution. Each hunt is a story about discipline, about patience, about placing common interests above the individual. This is the lesson lions teach the savanna. As the sun sets over the African savanna, the lion pride prepares for night. This is the time for the next hunt. The cycle continues as it has for thousands of years. This savanna is their home, where their ancestors lived, where their descendants will continue the tradition, if we know how to protect it. African lions, master hunters of the savanna, living proof of the power of unity. Their hunting tactics are not just instinct, but an art refined over millions of years, a legacy each generation passes to the next. In a world where life and death intertwine, lions stand firm, not by strength alone, but by the unbreakable bond of the pride. This is the African lion, warrior of the savanna, symbol of cooperation and tactics, an irreplaceable part of wild Africa. Africa, the continent of light and life, where nature creates the most perfect paintings of the wild world. From endless plains to crystal clear lakes, from dense ancient forests to vast savannas, each terrain is a living painting. Mystical, pink-colored lakes, deep green rainforests, majestic mountains. Africa contains the planet's most diverse beauty. And in this world live animals bearing extraordinary beauty, favored by creation, perfected by millions of years of evolution. Leopard, Panthera pardus, the seductive king of African ancient forest, the world's best camouflaged big cat. Golden brown fur adorned with black rosette spots. Each individual carries a unique pattern, like nature's fingerprint. Muscular body, length from 1 meter 2 to 1 meter 9, weighing up to 80 kilograms, designed for absolute grace. Each movement is a perfect combination of strength and elegance. Low body, long legs, helping them climb like artists among forest canopies. Lion, Panthera leo, living symbol of the African savanna. Adult males bear thick, majestic manes in golden brown to dark brown. This mane is not just a sign of power. It protects the throat in territorial battles. Also, a health indicator attracting mates. Weight can reach 250 kilograms, but their demeanor is always dignified. Each step exudes the confidence of a ruler. Zebra, Equus quagga, the moving artwork of African grasslands. No two individuals carry the same stripe pattern. Black and white stripes are not just beautiful. They're survival weapons bestowed by creation. When moving in herds, alternating stripes create optical illusions, disrupting predators' vision, making it difficult to identify individual targets. An evolution strategy, both subtle and effective. Giraffe, Giraffa camelopardalis. Currently the world's tallest animal. Height can reach 5.5 meters. Weight up to 1,200 kilograms. Long, graceful neck bearing unique brown-yellow spotted patterns. Each geographic region creates a distinct variation, but all carry natural nobility. Large, gentle eyes, long curved eyelashes, soft gaze, contrasting with massive body, creating a combination both poetic and surprising. Tall legs help them move across savannas with long, majestic strides, each step like a slow dance amid golden grasslands. Flamingo, Phoenicopterus roseus, pink dancer of alkaline lakes. At Lake Bogoria and Nakuru in Kenya, millions of individuals gather, creating brilliant pink silk ribbons stretching across water surfaces. One of the most spectacular sights African nature offers. The distinctive pink color comes from their food, spirulina, algae, and crustaceans containing carotenoids. This pigment accumulates in plumage over time. The special curved beak functions as a natural filter. Birds dip heads underwater, filter thousands of liters of water daily to find tiny food. When flying, flamingo flocks create perfect V formations. Long wings, necks stretched straight, legs extended behind. A highly cinematic image. Greater kudu, Tragelaphus strepsiceros, one of Africa's most noble antelope species. Males bear impressive spiral horns. Spiral horns can grow up to 1.8 meters, twisting in perfect spirals. Each twist is a sign of age and strength. Gray-brown fur bearing slender white stripes, running along the body, helping them blend into bushes when danger approaches. Large, flexible ears, rotating to catch sounds from all directions. Large, vigilant eyes, always observing surroundings. Gray-crowned crane, Balearica regulorum, Uganda's national bird, about 1 meter tall, wingspan up to 2 meters. The golden feather crown on the head is the most recognizable feature. Elegant blue-gray plumage, prominent white cheeks, contrasting black neck. Their courtship dance is one of the most beautiful performances in the bird world. Dancing, wing flapping, bowing, throwing head high. Each movement rhythmic and graceful, like a natural ballet, expressing the bond between the pair, a love lasting a lifetime. Africa, where beauty needs no ostentation, where each creature is a work of art. 2026. These animals are still here, still shining, still need to be protected. African grasslands under dawn light. Here, life unfolds to nature's rhythm. Each new day brings new challenges. Early morning light spreads across the land. Temperature gradually rises. Life begins to awaken. Buffalo herds move slowly across the savanna, seeking food. Calves always stay close to mothers. Not far away, predatory eyes silently watch. Lions hide in tall grass. Distance gradually narrows. Lions, apex predators of this continent. Weight can reach 190 kilograms. Strength concentrated in jaws and claws. Buffalo, weighing nearly 800 kilograms. Thick, hard horns form a natural shield. They live in herds to increase survival chances. When hunting in groups, lions possess clear advantage. They coordinate to separate prey, making success rate increase significantly. Tactics based on synchronized coordination. One individual attracts attention, while others silently approach from different directions. But today, a male lion acts alone. No support from others. The challenge thus becomes much greater. An adult male can still hunt alone when necessary. Its individual strength is still very formidable, but risk also increases correspondingly. The target is a buffalo that's separated from the herd. Safe distance gradually narrowing. Opportunity begins to show clearly. The lion accelerates. In brief seconds, it can reach speeds up to 80 kilometers per hour. All muscle groups mobilized. Buffalo detects danger. Instinct makes it turn to face. Not all prey choose to flee. The one-on-one confrontation begins. Lion tries to approach the flank or neck. Buffalo uses horns as defensive weapon. Buffalo charges at the lion. Sharp horns can cause serious injury. Lion dodges nimbly. The balance of power becomes clear. Buffalo weighs 4 times the lion, and each thrust carries tremendous destructive force. Lion tries to change attack angle, but buffalo always turns to face. Buffalo's tactic is simple, but extremely effective. From afar, sounds of other buffalo ring out. The herd is approaching. The situation begins to change. Another buffalo appears. Now it's 2 against 1. Nearly all the lion's advantages disappear. The entire buffalo herd coordinates attack. One in front, one trying to surround from behind. Lion has no easy escape route. Survival instinct forces the lion to make a decision. It turns and runs. Continuing to fight now is no longer reasonable. In nature, knowing when to retreat is also a survival skill. Injury can lead to slow death. Lion chooses to live to hunt another day. But not every escape goes smoothly. Sometimes, the entire buffalo herd discovers the lion. The situation becomes much more dangerous. A lion is exposed. The buffalo herd immediately surrounds. Numerical advantage completely overwhelming. Lion flees up a tree, terrified. Over 20, buffalo advance. Roars and snorting sounds echo everywhere. Threat comes from all directions. With no other choice, the lion launches itself onto a nearby tree. Climbing ability, rarely used, saved it in this moment. Lion maintains balance standing on a branch about 3 meters high. Below on the ground, the buffalo herd hasn't left yet. They still guard the position, not taking eyes off the enemy. This buffalo behavior isn't revenge. It's herd protection instinct. Eliminating threat is top priority. Time passes. Temperature continues to rise. The buffalo herd begins to thirst, and concentration gradually decreases. A few begin to leave, others follow. The encirclement gradually dissolves. Lion remains in the tree observing the situation. Experience teaches patience. Hasty action could be dangerous. Only when the buffalo herd moves a bit farther does the lion begin to move. It climbs down, each step carefully calculated. Lion quickly seeks hiding place. A large branch lies nearby. It hides behind this natural barrier, creating safe distance. Now, defensive tactics completely replace offensive posture. A few buffalo discover the lion has descended and immediately return. Herd protection instinct activated again. They try to approach, but the lion uses front legs as weapons. claws sharp as knives, up to 38 millimeters long, unleashed precisely. Each swipe aims not to kill, but to maintain safe distance. Buffalo must retreat to avoid injury. Warning sounds ring out from both sides, roars responding, language of direct confrontation. The large branch becomes an effective shield. Buffalo cannot attack head-on, and lion maintains strategic position. Energy on both sides gradually depletes. Temperature exceeds 30 degrees Celsius. Each side's persistence has limits. The standoff drags on. Neither side wants to yield, but survival is more important than confrontation, bringing no desired results. Finally, the buffalo herd leaves again. In the distance, water source is waiting. Basic survival needs have spoken. Lion waits until completely safe, then slowly leaves the barrier. Today, survival is the only victory. Confrontations like this happen daily on African grasslands. No absolute victors, only those who know how to adapt. Lions and buffalo have coexisted for thousands of years. The relationship between hunter and prey shapes both species. Their evolution is intertwined. Currently, African lions are estimated at about 20,000 remaining. Numbers have decreased 43% in the past 3 decades. Habitat is shrinking. Buffalo have larger numbers, about 900,000 individuals. However, the future of both depends on habitat, intact ecosystems. Each encounter between lion and buffalo is part of a larger cycle. Natural balance maintains ecosystem health. Both species are indispensable. The male lion slowly advances towards shade. Its body needs rest. Tomorrow will bring new opportunities. The grassland continues operating to its own rhythm. Afternoon sun gradually softens. Life continues ceaselessly. In the natural world, no battle ends completely. Tomorrow, the cycle will repeat. That is life's nature. Lions and buffalo, hunter and prey. They are two sides of the same story. The existence of one species is bound to the other. Conservation is not just the story of a single species. Each creature holds a distinct role in life's network that needs protection. In 2026, the world stands at an important crossroads. Our direction today determines the future of these species. African grasslands still stand there, unchanging through time. Stories like this will continue to be told, as long as we protect where they unfold. Lion lies still in the darkness, gradually descending. Buffalo gather together as night falls. Life on the grasslands prepares for a new cycle. And between them, the endless battle will continue, not from hatred, but because that's how nature maintains balance. African grasslands, where life and death intertwine, where each day is a lesson about survival, where nature remains master. The sun rises over the Serengeti Plains. The first light pierces the thin morning mist. A new day begins in Africa. This land is home to millions of living creatures, from tiny insects to massive elephants. Each species plays its role in the cycle of life. But here, life and death are tightly intertwined. Predators are an essential part of this world, maintaining balance within the ecosystem. Today we explore hunting strategies refined through millions of years of evolution, from raw power to complex technique. Lion, Panthera leo, Africa's largest big cat. Adult males weigh up to 190 kilograms and can reach speeds of 80 kilometers per hour. Lions hunt cooperatively, led primarily by lionesses. Their strategy relies on coordination, surrounding prey from multiple directions. Their primary weapon is the jaw. Canines reach up to 8 centimeters in length, curved and razor sharp. Bite force exceeds 650 psi, strong enough to pierce thick hide and muscle. Their claws are retractable, measuring up to 38 millimeters, curved like blades. During the attack, claws extend to grip prey tightly, preventing escape. The final strike targets the throat or muzzle. The lower jaw clamps upward, the upper jaw presses down, crushing the neck or sealing the airway. The prey suffocates within minutes. This is evolution at work, not cruelty, but survival instinct. Lions regulate herbivore populations across the savanna. Leopard, Panthera pardus, named for the rosette patterns on its coat. Adult males weigh between 30 and 70 kilograms. Smaller than lions, but exceptionally agile. Leopard claws retract fully and are razor sharp, enabling astonishing climbing ability in tall trees. Canines measure around 5 centimeters. Powerful jaw muscles allow a sustained grip on prey. Bite force ranges from 300 to 310 pounds per square inch, weaker than a lion's, but perfectly optimized for a solitary hunting strategy. The leopard relies on ambush. It stalks within 5 meters before launching a sudden, explosive attack, claws locking onto the prey. The killing bite targets the throat. Smaller prey are bitten at the back of the neck. Larger animals are strangled until they suffocate. Precise and efficient. Afterwards, the leopard drags its kill into a tree, sometimes heavier than its own body weight, using jaw strength and full body power. Spotted hyena, Crocuta crocuta, one of the most misunderstood predators. In reality, a highly skilled hunter living in clans of up to 80 individuals. Its greatest asset is its jaw. Bite force reaches up to 1,100 pounds per square inch, the strongest among carnivores of comparable size, nearly twice that of a lion. Specialized molars are thick, wide, and bone-hard, capable of crushing large bones, something no other predator can do, including lions. Hyenas hunt through endurance, chasing prey until it collapses from exhaustion, sometimes over many kilometers. Speed kills are unnecessary. This strategy is the result of evolution. In nature, there is no concept of mercy. Hyenas also serve as the savanna's cleanup crew. African wild dog, Lycaon pictus. Its scientific name means painted wolf. No two coats are alike. Each individual is unique. Wild dogs hunt in highly organized packs, achieving an astonishing 80% success rate, the highest among African predators, surpassing lions and leopards. Their canines are sharp and about 5 centimeters long, but their true weapon lies in the rear teeth, delivering rapid, repeated bites. The strategy is to exhaust and bleed prey gradually, not with a single fatal bite, but with hundreds of small wounds, fast and efficient. Bite force measures around 340 pounds per square inch, weaker than lions or hyenas, but compensated by speed, numbers, and teamwork. Nile crocodile, Crocodilus niloticus, the most ancient predator on this list, over 200 million years old, reaching lengths of 6 meters and weighing more than 700 kilograms. The Nile crocodile possesses the strongest bite force on Earth, up to 3,700 pounds per square inch, powerful enough to crush a buffalo's skull. No land animal rivals it. Its conical canines, 7 to 8 centimeters long, are designed for gripping, not chewing. Once embedded in muscle, escape is nearly impossible. The crocodile employs the infamous death roll, spinning violently after locking its jaws, tearing flesh from bone with devastating efficiency. Each predator has evolved along a unique path. Lions rely on strength and cooperation. Leopards combine jaw power with climbing skill. Hyenas wield unmatched bone-crushing jaws. Wild dogs depend on teamwork. Crocodiles deliver the most powerful bite on the planet. Each is perfect in its own way, and all are essential to the African savanna. Across the vast African plains, early sunlight filters through a thin veil of mist. This is a kingdom shared by hundreds of species. Beneath the illusion of harmony lie constant, unexpected encounters. Every animal carries its own tools for survival. Beneath thorny trees, inside cool underground burrows, lives a creature marked by striking black and white fur, the honey badger. Its name comes from its habit of raiding beehives, but its true reputation is built on an uncompromising attitude toward life in the wild. The black underbelly and pale gray-white back form a bold warning signal. Stay away. Weighing only 9 to 16 kilograms, the honey badger is built for power. Long, sharp claws serve as formidable weapons for both attack and defense. It possesses the thickest skin of any mammal. A 6mm layer protects it from leopard claws and even cobra venom. Its resistance to venom is not absolute, but sufficient to survive. After a bite, it may fall unconscious for hours, then wake and continue as if nothing happened. Another unique weapon is its scent glands. When threatened, the honey badger releases a powerful, foul odor that disorients enemies. An omnivore by nature, it feeds on rodents, venomous snakes, fruit, but its favorite target remains beehives. When a hive is found, thousands of angry bees are no deterrent. Thick fur and tough skin allow the honey badger to push through the swarm. It even shares a remarkable partnership with a honey guide bird. The bird leads the way, the badger breaks the hive, and both feast. One afternoon on the savannah, a honey badger digs in search of rodents. Nearby, a clan of spotted hyenas notices it. With numbers on their side, the hyenas approach. But the honey badger does not flee. It stops, turns, and growls in warning. The lead hyena moves closer. Instantly, the honey badger charges, claws swinging. The hyena recoils. Others attempt to circle from behind, but the badger pivots quickly, always facing every direction at once. After minutes of tension, the hyenas decide the prey is not worth the risk. They withdraw, seeking an easier meal. An encounter with a lion is different. A young male lion approaches a resting honey badger, 190 kilograms versus 12. The honey badger shows no fear. Its fur bristles. It hisses violently and advances straight toward the lion. A direct challenge. Despite its size advantage, the lion often chooses to back away. It understands that bites to the face, eyes, or sensitive areas are injuries not worth risking. African wild dogs pose a more complex threat. They hunt in highly coordinated packs of 10 to 15 individuals. When surrounded, the honey badger adopts a defensive strategy, pressing against cover, exposing only one direction of attack, neutralizing numerical advantage. From this position, it confronts attackers head-on. Any dog that comes close meets sharp claws and powerful jaws. What gives wild dogs pause is not aggression, but calculation. Is this prey worth the injury? In most cases, the answer is no. The energy cost and risk outweigh the reward of such a small target. This is the honey badger's greatest weapon, not raw strength, but the ability to force predators to reconsider their choice. Biologists call this a cost-benefit strategy. The honey badger turns every attack into a losing investment. In the savanna ecosystem, honey badgers help control rodent and reptile populations. Yet they face growing threats, habitat loss from agriculture, conservation programs now work with local communities to create shared spaces where humans and honey badgers can coexist. The honey badger, small but never weak. Proof that in nature, strength does not come from size alone. As night falls over the African plains, the honey badger continues its journey, solitary but never insignificant.
Across the Serengeti plains, dust erupts into the morning light. A herd of gazelles explodes forward, swift as wind. Behind them, golden shadows crouch low in the tall grass. Every leap, every heartbeat holds the razor edge between life and death. A roar tears through the silence, spilling dawn itself. This is the realm of lions, Africa's supreme predators. Yet even kings must choose their prey, which 5 animals have shaped their reign across millennia. The Serengeti, stretching across Tanzania and Kenya, is one of Earth's fiercest natural arenas. Here lions rule, not by speed or stealth alone, but by unity. Unlike the solitary leopard or cheetah, their power lies in the pride. At sunrise, lionesses spread out, eyes fixed on the smallest twitch of movement. Their first target, the Thompson's gazelle. Fragile, alert, only a few dozen kilos in weight. They live in tight herds, wired for flight. With bursts that reach 60 kilometers an hour, they can outpace most hunters, yet teamwork changes the equation. juveniles straying too far, and elders slowed by fatigue, those become the meals that sustain a pride generation after generation. Further north, near the Grumeti River, zebra herds drift cautiously to water. Black and white stripes blur into dazzling confusion, a living illusion. But isolation breaks the spell. A single zebra caught apart becomes a clear target. They're powerful creatures, one kick can shatter bone. Still, the prize is worth the gamble. A single adult zebra can feed the pride for days. Making the risk one lions return to again and again. At the wetlands near Lake Ndutu, the sound of buffalo carries like thunder. Half-ton beasts with sweeping horns. Their presence alone commands respect. For lions, they are both prey and peril. A kill requires coordination. Some lions harass from the rear, others circle to block escape. But a single misstep invites disaster. A charging buffalo can cripple or kill in seconds. It is a hunt of courage, where success means days of abundance, and failure means blood in the dust. Night falls over Tarangire. From burrows and shadows emerge warthogs. Small, stubborn, unpredictable. They dart in zigzags, tusks flashing, diving for safety at the first sign of danger. For lion cubs, warthogs are training ground fast, fierce, and wily. For adults, they are quick meals, crucial when larger prey is scarce. Their risk is lower, their reward smaller, but in the rhythm of survival, every catch matters. Then comes the Great Migration. Along the Mara River, straddling the border of Tanzania and Kenya, wildebeest move in endless tides. Hundreds of thousands surge across. Bawling, stumbling, colliding, chaos fills the air. In that storm, the weak and the clumsy fall behind. Lions wait. One bite to the throat ends the panic, and a bounty of flesh follows. For the pride, the migration is not just a hunt, it is harvest. A season of plenty in a land of hunger. Hunt after hunt, victories mingle with defeat. Lions succeed only about 30% of the time. Yet persistence, patience, and teamwork have kept them atop Africa's food chain for millennia. Overhead, vultures spiral down, They will arrive after the kill, ensuring nothing is wasted. The circle of life is brutal, but complete. As the Serengeti burns gold in the setting sun, a lone male stands atop a rise. His mane whips in the wind, eyes scanning herds that stretch to the horizon. Each hunt is a wager. Thompson's gazelles, zebras, buffalo, warthogs, wildebeest, 5 favored prey, 5 measures of skill and survival. On this harsh stage, the king still rules. But for how long can his throne remain secure? The cheetah, slender, almost fragile, roams the Masai Mara in Kenya. It lacks the bulk of a lion. It lacks the crushing jaws of a leopard. Yet it carries a weapon no other predator can match. Pure speed. How can such a delicate frame transform into the fastest land animal on Earth? At dawn on the Serengeti plains of northern Tanzania, the first light spreads across an endless ocean of golden grass. Mist lingers over the banks of the Grumeti River, where herds of Thompson's gazelles gather to drink. The scene looks calm, yet danger waits in silence. Hidden low in the grass, a slender shadow fixes its eyes on a target. The cheetah, the hunter of speed. Unlike lions that vanish into tall grass, or leopards that perch high in the acacia trees, the cheetah must gamble on open ground. Its body has been shaped by evolution into a weapon built for speed. A long, flexible spine like a spring, light bones, slim legs, a tail that works like a rudder, and an oversized chest to house powerful lungs and a racing heart. Every detail serves one purpose: acceleration. This is the fastest land animal on Earth, capable of breaking 100 kilometers an hour. Yet that burst lasts less than a minute. Beyond that, the body overheats and the engine fails. This female has been watching the gazelles since sunrise. She singles out a young one straying from its mother. Her chest rises, then explosion. In just 3 seconds, she reaches the velocity of a sports car at full throttle. Each stride covers 7 meters. Air rips past her body, legs strike the earth like drums. The gazelle veers left, then right. The cheetah's tail whips like a rudder, correcting each turn. Then, the strike. Claws latch, a body crashes to the dust. In an instant, the chase is over, but triumph is fleeting. Her heart pounds over 200 beats a minute. Heat floods her muscles. She collapses beside the kill, gasping. And at that moment, the scavengers arrive. 3 hyenas lumber out from the riverbank, circling, laughing. Their strength and numbers overwhelm her. Within minutes, the gazelle is theirs. For the cheetah, speed wins the hunt, but rarely the meal. On these plains, Half of all successful chases end in theft. Across the border, in Kenya's Masai Mara, a different story unfolds. 3 male cheetahs form a coalition, often brothers from the same litter. Unlike solitary females, they hunt together, turning weakness into strategy. Their target today, a strong adult gazelle. The chase erupts. One drives the herd, another cuts the angle, and the third delivers the final blow. Dust explodes, hooves scatter. Within seconds, victory. This time the meal belongs to them. Cooperation, rare among big cats, has tipped the balance. Back in the Serengeti, near the edge of the Ngorongoro Reserve, a mother cheetah walks with her 3 cubs, barely 8 weeks old. They tumble through the grass, still clueless about the hunt. For her, every step is survival and a lesson. She picks a smaller prey to demonstrate. Stalk, burst, strike. These moments will decide their future. The odds are brutal. Up to 70% of cubs die in their first year, taken by lions, hyenas, even eagles. Those who survive carry the legacy of speed. Yet speed is always a gamble. Near the Mara River one evening, another female makes the wrong choice, an adult gazelle too strong. The chase drags on beyond a minute. Her stride falters, her lungs scream, her body overheats. She stumbles, collapses, gasping in the dust. The limits of biology revealed, unmatched velocity, but no endurance. That is the price of extreme evolution. As the sun dips behind the acacias, the Serengeti turns crimson. This is the golden hour for cheetahs when lions are still hidden and hyenas have not yet gathered. They rarely hunt by night. Their eyes cannot pierce the darkness like true nocturnal hunters. Instead, they master timing, choosing the narrow window when the plains are theirs alone. The cheetah will never rule the savanna, but it remains essential. By taking the young, the weak, it keeps the herds healthy, the ecosystem in balance. Its fragile presence is proof that survival does not always belong to the strongest. Sometimes it belongs to the swiftest. In the fading light, a mother and her cubs vanish into the tall grass of the Serengeti. The wind swallows their tracks, and one question lingers. In a world ruled by power and dominance, will speed alone be enough to secure their future?